everyone.
Hi.
Hello.
So this is wait. Okay.
Yes.
So this is a live episode. Today is about network. Now I heard about network a few times from American and Canadian friends. Apparently, it's a cult in North America. Although, and also I've seen in movies sometimes they use that sentence. I'm mad as hell, but like revamped. And let's see what this is about, actually.
I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crying in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value. So, I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore. I want you to get up right now. Get up, go to your windows, open them, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore. Things have got to change.
How many stations does this go
You've got
at?
to get mad.
67.
I know it goes to Louisville and Atlanta. I'm not going to take this anymore. Then we'll figure out what to do about the depression and the inflation and the oil crisis. But first, get up out of your chairs, open the window, stick your head out and yell, and say, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
Who are you talking to, Kurt?
CGG Atlanta.
Are they yelling in Atlanta here?
Are they yelling in Atlanta, Ted? But first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
They're yelling in Baton Rouge.
Get up out of your...
Son of a bitch! We struck the mother lode!
Stick your head out of the window, open it, then stick your head out and keep yelling and yell, I'm as mad as hell, I'm not going to take this anymore. Just get up from your chairs right now. Go to
Where
the
you
window.
going? I wanna see if anybody's
Just go
yelling.
to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell and keep yelling. I'm mad as hell! I'm not gonna take it anymore! I'm not gonna take it anymore! I'm mad as hell! I'm not gonna take this anymore!
Right. So that was the thing.
for everyone.
So one thing that you may not know, because I'm not sure I've talked about that in episodes, I like to surprise people. And a few weeks ago, I sent a cryptic message to my fellow podcastees, as you used to say, Adam, about I'll have a surprise for you tomorrow. And then the tomorrow came, and I think, Adam, you said, yeah, surprise, eh? And as the surprise that I had was a certain thing, I wanted to wait for an episode. I said, yeah, we'll see that afterwards. Something happens, which is also a surprise, the TV thing.
Yes,
So that's
yeah.
quite cool. But
That is, yeah.
that wasn't the surprise I was talking about
Oh,
at all.
okay.
The surprise I was talking about is...
Okay.
You'll understand right away.
You're tearing me apart, Lisa.
And this is how it all... Wait, I'll start again.
Wait
because
a
there
fucking-
were a few,
Eh?
a few seconds missing. Ah, here we go.
Rule one. The doctor lies. So do I.
Hello everyone, I'm somewhere right now. I haven't told you where in advance. For a good reason. I'll just switch the camera and you'll understand right away.
You're tearing me apart, Lisa.
And this is how it all started.
Hi, it's Bryan Cranston. I need your help. I'm doing a play at the National Theatre in London called Network, and we need you to help us out and be on stage with me. If you can get a recording, a phone, a laptop, anything, of yourself or someone else yelling, "I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore," and send it to it.
I am mad as hell, and I'm not going to take it anymore.
Oh, memories.
I probably moved
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
back so
Yeah.
it's not. Are you still good in there?
Yeah, we're still in the stream, yeah. Oh, my old glasses. I missed them.
So nice. This is so crazy. So beautiful here, though.
Yeah. And the food?
Oh my god, so good. We've only just done the appetizer.
Oh. So. Your brother. Oh, no. Oh, there we are again. Oh, Gregor joined. Oh, he left, but he was here.
Mad as hell, we're not going to take it anymore.
Hello, Instagram. We're doing a live episode, so this is our feed. Yann is currently showing us a video, which I'll put in the side as well, so you can see a bit of everything going on.
6 times this whole play. It's just... Oh.
Turn around.
Yeah, Anouk's drunk in this, isn't she?
Plied us with alcohol.
Just turn the camera and show them what they do.
This is just us on the National Theatre stage. It was unbelievable.
Yes, we are. Huge congratulations to Bryan Cranston and Shirley Anderson and everyone else. Hello, my friends. This is Yann talking to you straight from the Royal Albert Hall. I've been nominated at the Olivier this year. What the fuck is that? Best player. You had to shave it for the black tie.
That's great.
Listening to that one time.
Shout out to Troika.
So listening to that one time I got abducted by aliens podcast, I noticed that Jamie, the co-host, she likes bald guys, fat and bearded. I unfortunately, for award reasons, had to remove that. But this is for you. Insert poem here.
Yes.
Are we ready?
Yeah.
Yeah. Back to us.
Sweets to the sweet, nymph, fair Jamie, I accept thy offer, a meagre 50 ducats, so that I shall peruse for hours in thy excellent white bosom. How ravishing!
Wait, Yann, you pervert. Did you just use fancy Shakespeare words to tell her that, as she suggested herself that the idea, you'll be happy to have a look at her, you know?
Well, but it's because she said that when they open their Patreon, anyone donating $50 will get to see exclusive pics of Jamie's, excellent white bosom.
Yay! I know what tits are. I got a couple of them myself. Jesus, disgusting.
Yeah, no, but it was a joke, and I was like bantering back,
Oh, forget it then. Go get them nuds.
Thank you, mother. With great discomfort I come before you, shaven and afraid. Thou fanciest bold and fat men, bearded fellow like the rival of my watch, this Kevin Smith. Far from your land I reside, but season your admiration for a while, as I may come to the Bay Area in June. For Conman, if ever there is a third season, and this above all.
Hey, yo, Yann, what are you doing?
Well,
Come your ways.
Oh, yeah, sure.
And tell them that your podcast name is actually The Good, The Bad, and The Just Plain Standard, instead of Good Bad Standard. But it would have made the Instagram handle way too long.
Like you said.
Fade out.
And
Why does Yann never tell us any of these things? Is he...
What?
Where's he going?
That face.
Oh, yeah. See, if he meets somebody famous, I'm going to be so annoyed.
okay, thank you.
Jan's going into the annals of this place.
It was complicated to find.
Massive building.
What a place. Don't call it the Royal Albert Hall for nothing, do they?
Yeah.
I'm lost. 20 minutes later.
There's the bar. So I entirely succeeded in getting lost inside the Royal Albert Hall, but I found my way out.
You found the bar, though.
Here we go, that's my door. Why are you British so confusing? Damn it. So where it was, I didn't see it there. Looking at the floor, didn't see it before. So I'm inside now, and I haven't told anyone, especially not my co-host yet, but I'm about to attend the Olivier Awards ceremony. So exciting.
Bloody hell, Yann. That's ridiculous.
No way.
Why do you...
Yeah, it's like, what's going on?
Yeah, and you've lost a serious amount of weight, man.
Yeah.
You look good in this. You look really good.
Really good.
Cool, thank you.
I've got a photo to share with everyone later. I've found a photo of our very first recording.
Yes. Okay, so hello from the Olivier guys. So, free program.
So what I'm curious to know about is if Bryan Cranston will win for Howard Beale in Network. That's the subject of this episode. There's also Andrew Scott, who was Hamlet very recently. I just watched it on BBC Two. It's still available there. Very nice. And the other one I saw also was Angels in America, obviously, Andrew Garfield, which was also great. I just haven't seen Paddy Considine in The Ferryman because he stepped down from
Nice bit of shoulder on the side shot. Stick her in the thumbnail.
You kind of just follow the guideposts and see where it flows, and it makes us look terrific. But it's all about the writing.
Nice suit, Bryan Cranston.
Yeah, he looks good, man.
And the Olivier goes to?
Bryan Cranston for Network.
Paddy Chayefsky wrote such a prescient, clear
He's wearing a Time's Up pin.
thought of what was
Good.
going to
Well
happen
done.
40 years after
Hello,
he
Instagram.
did. And here we are in this world of post-truth environment of fake news and maligning of the media, and his ability to bring that into fruition and make it relevant in 2018 is extraordinary.
This is me during the interval, 25 minutes. Bryan Cranston won. He won Best Actor. So we got one Tony and now one Olivier. That's
He's doing well, man. He's doing really well.
yes. Did I tell you that Bryan Cranston won? History was made tonight. History. Where are my eyes going? Bryan Cranston won tonight. His first Olivier. History was made today. Network, I'm mad as hell, and I'm not going to take it anymore. And a quick shout out to my co-host Adam and Anouk, who I lied to because I'm cancelled and I didn't go to see Empire Records at the Prince Charles. I'm actually attending the Olivier Award ceremony. And Bryan Cranston, you heard that. Everyone won. Everyone who was supposed to win won. Bryan Cranston, Shirley Anderson, lead in the musical. Awesome.
Oh, she won.
I love Shirley Anderson. And next up, a network surprise that was recorded prior to this. Okay, just 1 second explaining for the people online.
Right.
So,
What?
basically-
Right. No. You don't get to explain. Me and
No,
Anouk
because
get, me and
they
Anouk
asked-
get to ask some questions
Wait.
first.
They asked a question. The video is not finished. So just
Okay.
just
All right.
explain. So I went to see because with my co-host here, we went to see on stage the play Network, which was a movie in 1976, Now it was a plate. The play stopped in 24th of March. So we actually attended the play. We were on stage having dinner. So Bryan Cranston was just like within reach.
Yeah, he came up and talked to me and Anouk at the show. It was incredible.
And he delivered his lines to you guys. And and as a surprise, because I was in London I went to see actually who was it? Bruce Campbell. And it was the not so long after that actually, the Olivier. So I said, okay, I'll go there. And but that's still not the surprise. The surprise is coming now.
So for some more people joined Instagram, this is currently we're doing a live recording of a podcast. We lost the feed earlier, so we're just recording for Instagram. If you didn't hear what Yann just explained there, essentially Yann lied to me and Anouk saying he was going to see a movie in London and instead went to the Olivier Awards. He's presenting the video, which you'll then see when I turn the camera around.
My heart has stopped.
I know. I'm kind of like, what the hell's going to happen next? So let's go cutting back to the video.
So jealous.
Oh, you mother! He went to the. Oh, you son of a.
Oh!
Yeah, it was nice seeing you in the disaster.
I was in the disasters, yeah.
I actually saw the play. We shared a stage. I was having dinner at the end of January at the restaurant.
Oh, is that right? Oh, yeah?
Yes, fantastic.
Oh, cool.
Fantastic view, yeah.
Well, I'm glad. Thanks for coming. Is this you?
That's my friend, Anouk. I was the first one.
All right. Excellent.
We have a podcast. We talk about movies. If you have a moment at some point.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you again.
Oh my god.
And so in your bags you have the Olivier Awards program, and you've got the signed book and stuff.
Wow.
Oh my god.
We're going to open these then.
Oh my god, Yann!
What the hell, man?
Oh my god, fucking hell.
Oh, and the play. Excellent.
Oh, that new book smell.
The smell of lies. Oh dear, that's excellent.
Wow.
Rule 1, Yann lies.
And a copy of the network book.
It was
The
so
script.
it was so good.
And a program. Jesus.
And obviously, so he did this talk at the platform, which you can find on YouTube. It's National Theatre Discovery, I think. So it's like a 40-minute talk with Bryan Cranston and Emma Freud, who was hosting.
There we go. There's Bryan Cranston's signature.
Wow. How exciting is this?
That's excellent.
It's beautiful.
Yann, what can we say? Thank
Thank
you
you
very
so
very much, man.
This is amazing. This is so exciting.
I think.
Let's pop these on the floor because there's some already on the table. We'll leave one. Let's leave one out at the moment. Leave that one out.
I'll just put in the background.
All right. Bloody hell.
Mind blown.
Yeah, I know, man.
Absolutely blown.
Back.
Bit of. Oh, there's me and there we are there. Oh, there's me and Anouk. Yeah.
Oh, wait, actually, I should have.
There we are again. There's my head and there's Anouk's face.
Okay, let me just try something real quick.
Bloody hell. Yann is full of surprises, man.
I know.
That
was a good surprise.
Well done, Yann. Well done. That was excellent acting to keep that entirely from us. That's very well done. I bet Yann's got like a secret girlfriend he has on the flat. We just never see her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, as I traveled for many years with the Navy, my parents, they wonder if I don't have like secret kids everywhere in the world.
You never know. You never know, man.
Oh,
Whoa.
maybe.
Let me just. It's for. I forgot to do that. For.
I have to tell you, Yann, that Jamie says hi. Watching via Instagram.
Oh.
I'm tilting my head because I have to read the name, so I'll actually be easier doing that. We'll turn it round. There's the man himself. There's Yann. There's the liar. There's the liar, Yann the man.
Oh,
Oh dear.
so jealous. Such a good video as well.
I had either Bryan with me as the screensaver or
the dog,
Olympia.
or your warrior princess.
Yes.
So I think some people are watching via. Yeah, Jamie says you're the secret girlfriend. Yeah, she's a secret girlfriend. She's actually in the flat.
Yeah, but I've started to lose weight, so I don't know if I'm still.
I'm only a balding I'm a balding big guy instead of a fat man.
But Jamie, it's thanks to Kevin Smith that she is after chubby. She's a chubby chaser.
Chubby
chaser.
That's how she puts it. That's quite nice.
That's very poetic. Well, God bless somebody that's into bigger men.
Yeah.
God bless.
I'll
I'll drink to that.
Fight the whatever mainstream.
As we go on tangents, quite sometimes here. In our latest episode, Coco, which can be found on Podbean and all the standard podcast platforms, we talked about tipping.
Mm.
Now, recently, I went to a special restaurant, one Michelin star restaurant, and I was wondering because usually how tipping works. I know here you tip because you have no idea how they paid and if they paid well, and so that goes to them, kind of thing. Whereas I was wondering, for those kind of restaurants, people see they are very, very expensive restaurants, gradually going from 1 star to 3 stars, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was wondering because what you're paying basically is the attention of you must have at least one waiter or two focused at all times on you, so you have no moment where you're I have no bread. So you're actually paying. Obviously they have the all
in, maybe.
Yeah, it's back. It's back.
Oh, okay. So back to the thing I was saying.
Really
So
random.
I work as an Uber cyclist, right?
No sound in the picture. Wait. I'll just check if.
It'll catch up.
It should. The sound should be good, isn't it?
Look on the YouTube page, because that's where the feed's coming from.
Yeah, but I won't do both. It should be good.
It should be okay.
I can see the levels.
Yeah, we're something should be coming.
Which we lost earlier, but now. Okay, so let's yeah.
Anyway, it's in coins and it just depends, because I mean the Uber fee is about $3.50, the delivery fee on itself, so that's a lot of money. But you know, it's even more appreciated to the cyclist if you do tip, because it's so unusual, to be honest. So if you have a pound coin sitting in your flat, just give it to the guy, because they appreciate regardless.
That's actually a very good thing to think about. You're talking about that, because I usually don't have the idea to tip the guy. Why? Because I already paid £2.50 extra.
Yeah.
So what is that £1.50 extra for then?
It's do you mean what you pay on the app?
Yeah.
So the breakdown of how it works for a driver is that we will be out and about and it will ping on our phone saying there's a delivery. The rate we get paid is a minimum of, depending on what area we're in. So certain parts of cities are divided into what's called boosts. So for example, I might do a delivery that say a 1.4 boost, which works out at, if I do under a mile, for a mile is £4.50. No, £4.40. Anything more, I get paid a certain rate on top of that. Essentially, the delivery fee for Uber is them charging you for the service of using Uber. I don't get that $3.50. That's not given to your driver. And then even with the places that have the system, say McDonald's or like a local restaurant, they have to pay Uber themselves. Uber takes a cut of whatever you order from them to get it delivered to you. Because the reason is because Uber's an easier and efficient way for a place to have a delivery service without having to have drivers on a payroll. Because we're all self-employed. So yeah. So essentially, if you give the driver any money, that's directly to us. And it's the same on the phone. The delivery fee we don't get. It's part of Uber. It's a service fee for using Uber, essentially, rather than a driver fee. It's an Uber fee.
Oh, okay. So I need to check what happens with the actual Uber.
Well, basically, if the guy gets there, you know when it says your driver's picked up the food and he gets there quickly and it's all alright.
That's this. Yeah, it's back.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So I'm currently drinking this, which if you're on Instagram, you can check our Instagram feed and you'll be able to see what this is. But it is a Eden Mill, which is St Andrew-based distillery.
And if you're my brother, you had one.
You have a bottle of this, correct? So you can. It's David has sent us a link.
Oh.
I'm drinking this in honor of the cocktails that the Portland whiskey that we had a lovely cocktail during food work, which Yann, What was Foodwork?
Foodwork was a restaurant which was on the stage at the National Theatre, the Littleton stage room, and the food was made on stage on the back of the stage, and that food, which we enjoyed, was also available afterwards for the non-network patrons at the National Theatre restaurant if they wanted to.
It was sublime how good that was. I still dream about that ox cheek.
Oh, it was so tender and like melt in the mouth.
Melt in the
meat.
mouth.
Yeah,
Oh,
really, really good.
It was excellent, yeah.
And it was, if you think about it, because you had two options, either, well, you had the standard options in the audience, right? But two new options. The on-stage sitting, which was a ballot. Now it's a thing, so you have to actually enter a ballot, and if you win, you're allowed to purchase the tickets. Yeah, they did that with Punch Drunk, like the new experience,
said,
like a 7-hour show for two people in London. Well,
bloody hell.
so this one was 95 for the dinner on tables and 75 on in the bar, which at one point Bryan was facing people at the bar, and and the actual dinner which people could have afterwards at the restaurant was £38. So if you were at the bar, all had like nice, and the nice thing also is that we could, if we wanted to, we didn't because we were just enjoying the Marvel, but leave and go to the toilets, and we were not blocked as we were when I saw the Gems plays, which was the first time I was on audience on stage, member of the parliament kind of thing.
Very cool.
Yeah,
it's a good idea, actually. But yes.
Shall we tell the story of how me and Anouk nearly missed this show? In the sense of when it was getting near the time to go, obviously Christmas had just happened, and we're like, oh, we don't have a lot of expendable funds, and you were rehearsing for network, so you were worrying nothing. Sorry, I wish.
Which was something, but
when you were rehearsing for nothing, so you were unsure you could go. So we looked into possibly selling the tickets just in case we couldn't go, so somebody else can enjoy them. Tickets on like these sites for the day we were going at the time were going for up to £1,000 for theatre tickets.
So crazy.
Which me and Anouk were like, oh my god, because we thought we've got these seats on stage, like these are going to be worth a fortune. Luckily, and I thought this was a great idea with the National Theatre, our tickets, because I contacted the box office, you can't sell the network tickets. You have to, they'll refund you the money, but they'll sell them themselves. You can't sell them on, which I think is quite a good idea, because stuff like that, ticket touting, would be astronomical for those tickets, because it was phenomenal seating. It was phenomenal because it was unlike anything I've ever seen or experienced in my life.
Yeah, it didn't like take away from anything as well. I was thinking that maybe it's really not that bad, Adam.
It's okay.
That if we were on stage, we wouldn't see things, or there'd be like blocked view, and people will be in front of you, and then you're eating, so the sound isn't great. But like actually, it was really nice because it was a different way of looking at theatre, because you're enjoying it like you would maybe enjoy it at home, but you're there and you're kind of part of it. And like there was a point where Howard Beale, played by Bryan Cranston, is like walking around the tables, and you're just there like eating your cheese board. And like it was great. Like it didn't take away at all.
Yeah, it was unreal how good it was.
Really good. So if ever you see anything that's like on the stage, and if you can afford it and you can go, I really recommend it.
And if you're like me, who think about it's a bit of money, if you break it down, the meal Yann said, what was it, £38?
Yeah.
So £38 for the meal that you got, if a ticket was £95, you're only really paying about £45 for a theatre ticket at the National Theatre for excellent seating. That's really good. So it's not actually that bad.
It's worth it. I mean, it's
Absolutely worth it,
expensive,
yeah.
but it is worth it.
You'd pay more for the seats in the auditorium,
Yeah.
realistically, yeah, because they would just go up.
Yeah, especially if theatre is important to you. Like, it's really good to see theatre in a different way.
Yeah.
Definitely. So
Yeah, so some seats inside the house are very expensive. I mean, it was not really the case here, but the Gems plays £25 on stage. I went to London last time, like a few days ago, to see Julius Caesar at the Bridge Theatre. £25 in the middle as an extra in the middle of the.
It's the same. When me and Anouk went to the Globe, we paid £5 to see 2 shows, and we were standing for the full time. We were in the pit.
right, you're standing, so I think that's probably why it's more expensive, because we were sitting down and eating. And usually, if you're on stage, you're standing up the whole time. So
with the groundlings.
Yeah, with the groundlings, which
Getting
would have been
smelly.
which would have at some point been the cheapest tickets back in Shakespearean times.
Yes, the time of the wooden O. Mark Rylance will be Iago very soon at the Globe.
Okay, that's exciting. That I will
Okay.
need to keep an eye on, because I love Iago so much.
Interesting.
I love Othello.
An older Iago.
Who's Othello? Do we know?
I don't think I don't remember.
Is it RSC or is it Globe Theatre?
No, Globe
Theatre.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
Yeah, well, probably talking about Wooden O, because we'll delve into theatre again soon. We'll start probably with the latest production last year with Andrew Scott as Hamlet. So we'll probably have a Wooden O side podcast that will start exclusively on our Patreon. That will be launching soon, actually.
Yes, very soon, in May.
Yeah. And
So exciting.
when we have because the BBC released many years ago a box set with 37 plays, the Shakespeare plays, and when we have done all those, we'll release, so probably New Year.
Ages away, man.
yeah.
It's so far away.
We'll release this as a separate podcast because there is a thing in iTunes that I didn't realize before launching this podcast. For the first 4 weeks, I think, or 8 weeks, you're in new and noteworthy. And if you start with like 10 episodes, it goes like it helps. It helps for the whole life of the podcast.
So it's algorithm. They yeah. It's. I think that's to help people just get started, essentially, right? Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
That's good though.
Okay.
That's a good idea. Yeah,
Yeah.
the theatre ones are interesting.
So,
Yes.
what's Network about?
Well, if you've seen the 1976 film Network, you'll know. But for anyone that doesn't know, Network essentially is the life story of Howard Beale at his news job, where he is about to be fired. But before he is fired, he has a meltdown on camera that goes, what we would say today is viral, and everyone loves him. He becomes in the play Network, he becomes like an internet sort of sensation, because it's very much set in our sort of time. So it goes all over the place. And therefore the studio keep him on and just let him do his own way, and it slowly he becomes this TV personality that you see so much of today. And we see how the Network survives around the antics of Howard Beale. I'd say that's pretty accurate, right?
Yeah, he becomes like a prophet for any disenfranchised underdog. So it was really kind of good for now, because this is stuff that's been going on. Quite a lot of people are angry and want to, change the system.
Shout out to Owen, my old advanced higher drama student with me on Instagram.
Oh, nice.
Owen was originally Rory in the play.
Oh, cool. Hi, it's Yann. Yeah, welcome to our podcast.
All about Network.
Yes. with Bryan Cranston.
I will say, from the clip we showed earlier of the 1976 one, the 1976 one is quite diversive. I mean, it's a cult classic, but it's not great.
Right.
I mean, even in the clip we showed, I think there's too much cutting away from Howard Beale. But this is the thing. I don't think I could go back and watch 76 now because I've seen the stage show, and Bryan was just so good.
So it's Bryan now.
Yeah, me and Bryan are best mates.
Yeah, but
Last name basis.
Yeah. I couldn't recommend Anouk to go see the movie because I watched it before for that, so I wouldn't spoil the experience. I mean, like the Hamlet was so different that it will be it will.
What makes me excited is that this version of Network worked so well, and I haven't seen a lot of the time where they take they take a movie and turn it to a play. You don't see a lot of that.
No, that's right. The reverse is done quite often, sometimes very well, like ghost stories that finally got out. It was Andy Nyman and Jeremy Dyson play, which became, because there's this thing like theater is designed in width, and movies because the lens in length kind of if it makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So the visual storytelling aspect, you don't have that when you film theater.
No, and that's the thing nowadays. It's so popular because of the new technology to live stream theater, which is good because it gives access to something that you wouldn't normally have. You know, like going to see something like that in London is an expensive all-round trip. Like theater is very expensive to experience in the flesh. So I think that having live streaming is definitely a good step forward because it gets more people interested in theatre. I mean, I remember seeing my first play, and from that I was like, I want to be an actor. I saw Death of a Salesman in Perth, and I was like, I want to be an actor.
They have also, obviously, when you see the credits at the end, they have directors for the cameras also. But the only time really that I've seen it done, which there's this Hamlet with Andrew Scott, but before that the Cumberbatch was clearly they clearly had camera rehearsals, and I'm pretty sure everyone has, but sometimes you're stuck. Like Angels in America would be at the very high in my list of stage plays that I loved, but I didn't see it live in the audience, and the set was so massive, and it was so it's a different experience.
Yeah, of course.
Something, even music, when you think about that, in the flesh is entirely different to listening on an album. It's part of the experience, you know. It's part of sitting somewhere to enjoy what you're there for. There's a certain feel to it. When we see movies in the cinema, I think you enjoy a movie more when you see it in the cinema, or when you're at home, when you're in the right mood to watch that movie, you know.
Yeah, there are definitely movies you have to be in the right mood for, especially. Which can get quite complicated because if you're not in the right mood, people are like, I hated it, but if they were, they would have liked it. Like, that's kind of sad, but it's true. I mean, one good example is we just saw the Isle of Dogs, and it's you have to be in the right mindset for it, otherwise it probably will just even be a bit boring because it needs quite a lot of focus and it's a little bit different.
We've hopefully got an exciting guest for Isle of Dogs. Actually, if we need to make contact.
Bryan Cranston?
No, but actually somebody that very nearly worked on the actual movie.
We talked about.
We discussed it a bit. Anouk's friend. Yeah.
A little bit bitter, but she said she might come and. When she sees it, she's a bit like, it might take me a while to go see it because I'm so angry that I didn't get to work on it.
I don't like Thor, who read for the part of Thor.
I know.
Oh, it's true, very true.
You have to kind of let it go a little bit.
Yeah.
Actors are used to that, though, I guess, more so than anyone else. Let it go. But it is tough. But anyway, yeah. So it was just so, and I'm really happy that he won the Olivier Award. I think he really deserved it.
Yeah, it was well deserved. I mean, that category was pretty heavy. I mean, Paddy Constantine as well. I've seen bits of what he was nominated for, and it's very good as well. And I like him a lot.
Yeah, and I mean, we saw extracts from the Hamlet, the Andrew Scott's Hamlet.
Yeah, it was very good.
And it was one of the best Hamlets I've ever seen.
Yeah, it will require its own episode very soon.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. And I love him anyway. So, but it was super talented people are out there right now.
Well, like Jamie is obsessed by chubby guys. I'm obsessed by Hamlet.
We all have our little.
So yeah, I counted like something like 12 productions or something.
Jesus, 12, especially if it's 12 times 3 hours. Essentially, that's
it's usually 4, but it really depends on this one is 3:15, but they take their time, they move something. It's very different, very different. Yeah, worth your time and 3 hours for sure.
See you, Owen. Thanks for hanging out. I will say something because Owen said on the Instagram chat he's saying he wish he could check. Hopefully he gets to check out the Bryan Cranston thing. I think him winning the Olivier will definitely make them go, okay, maybe we'll find a way to put it out.
Yeah, or even the live, like if you go see it in the cinema, if they bring it back.
This is what I mean. I mean the fact that that show is so unique in the sense of its film because you watch a lot of screens in this production. But for the first time ever, I thought that made it even more. There was only one scene in the movie one scene. See, I'm saying movie because it felt so movieistic.
Fluid,
yeah, like like transition from stage to screen so well. Which was obviously the monologue that comes later from the owner of the network.
Because there was a reasoning behind it. There were screens everywhere because it was making a point. And if there's an intention behind something, you're more willing to find it kind of involved in the whole aesthetic or the whole production. Like it was making a point that we watch so much shit all the time and there's so much stimulus. And I'll call it a shit because there's a lot of shit out there that we think is good. This whole thing of like, oh yeah, I love the Kardashians. Like, oh fuck, are you kidding? Like, that's and it's just kind of given to us. And there are homes that always have a screen on, and we find it really difficult to not be away from a screen. That was really interesting that we were watching something, but there was always a screen, either if it was like behind someone or like there was like smaller screens, like if you went to an actual TV networking station like showing different things, but it was all like either it was like really violent or sexual or it was just kind of like images just flashing up onto the...
Speaking of sexual, how was that, Yann? There's a scene in the play where two characters are having sex in a chair.
Oh,
and it
yeah.
happened to be in front of Yann's table. Like,
now so the attention to detail, right? So the play closed. So it will probably come back because Bryan Cranston just got an Olivier, but he had a Tony a few years ago, so yeah, he has both. So probably this will go to Broadway because it's so relatable to that. Attention to details. So when we start, so even before an audience comes, and so we had the Maître D who was there, and there was a table next to my table, which was stage left. Which one is it again?
Stage right.
Stage right.
No, stage left. Stage left. It's from actor's perspective. So
stage left. Well,
stage
it is
left.
from. Yeah. I was on the left if you were looking at the stage from the audience.
Stage left.
And there was a table next to me which remained empty for a while, and the Maître D was clearly like embarrassed, was annoyed that the other employees was like, what the, and was like, oh, okay, someone paid, but did it come or whatever. And as it goes on, you realize that it actually is this table is not a table; those are props, and stuff happens. And Schumacher and the two supporting characters, like the network girl and Howard Beale's
Diana Christensen, played by Michelle Dockery, and
Richard Condry.
and the Henschel is the Schumacher.
Oh, Schumacher. Sorry.
Yeah, the Scottish guy that you don't realize that he's Scottish.
yeah,
Douglas Henshaw.
Yes, they also have a network platform, National Theatre platform. You've got Bryan Cranston and them talking about this play.
cool. They were great.
And at one point they come and they simulate sex next to my. It was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. She just climbed on top, like straddles him, and just was like bouncing up and down. It's like pretty graphic.
Yeah. And there was some funny. I didn't really remember that, but watching their talk, Michelle Dockery and Anshul, about at one point they start from outside the theater and they are filmed, and it's a tracking shot until they actually get back into the room. And one day they had issues because some people were rehearsing and they had to make some compromises, or I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was complicated to do that. So they actually had to say, "Can you please just stop your banging and rehearsals and stuff, so we can actually." But it was obviously done live
Every day.
Yes.
Wow.
Wow. We were talking about this. We were saying that, like, was that filmed beforehand and then they just like know when to come in because of like a cue that they're given? But
Just once because of the weather, I think, which was terrible. But the whole run was done on the spot.
good on them. That's
very
amazing.
well done, yeah, that's
They
cool.
did not need to do that at all. Like, they could have definitely gotten away with filming that beforehand and then just using the same thing over and over again each night.
The thing as well was this one of the big things was the fact that the staging was the design had no budget. It was just like, as in the sense of, do what you want, we'll do it. It was just phenomenal what they did. It was unbelievable, because I've been in that theatre when it was something else, and it was like it was meant to be like a couple of flats, like a old Victorian housing, and you walked, right, so you came in from the back and you walked through the back of the staging and then you came out the front. We were sitting in the backstage on that production, so that was the whole of the Littleton stage that was used for that production. That was the whole space available, which was just wow.
Yeah, it was well done. The staging was like blocking was really well, like the way that they moved around things and the way that the death scene was so good because you did not see the changeover from the guy killing Bryan Cranston. Spoilers.
Yes, I
But
actually
everyone
didn't
knows.
check because in the play that goes wrong, they explain how the clock thing, but I don't know if in the book they explain how to do
That's interesting.
the
Because
thing at the end.
then I heard him talking and I was like, oh, is that a recording? And then I saw that he'd actually somehow slipped underneath everyone and had kind of had like an out of body experience type thing and been sitting on the edge. It's like, it was so well done.
Yeah, I was really even though I saw the movie like a few months before, the gunshot really was like, whoa.
Yeah.
It doesn't. I have 1 minute 35 remaining of the Instagram, but I'll restart it again live if I can. If I can't, then we'll
If you
just lose that
can
feed.
save it.
Yeah, I'll attempt to save it.
Oh yeah, talking about staging and being in that Julius Caesar thing, you didn't get any stuff in advance, like you'll have to do to be there and do that. So basically, there were all those stagehands shouting on you all the way through. Move back. And it was so nice because so there's the actual stage, which is in the middle because it's an arena setting, and they have platforms that can move up and down
Right.
on the whole stage.
Yeah.
So that's how they did the whole play was playing with that.
Wow. That takes some timing and a
Yes.
rehearsal.
And having all the extras.
Yeah.
The mob. We were the
Yeah.
mob. Yeah.
Does
Yeah.
usually that come up with an option if I hit that, or does that just mean it's saved?
Just wait. Just save, and it should at some point say saved. But don't wait for the.
I'll check in my thing as well, just in case. I won't leave the actual thing.
Right.
Yeah.
So I hope you liked. No, this is not me saying goodbye. I hope you liked the countdown. It was music provided by DJ Mangro Pépère, my brother.
Ah,
Yeah.
It was very good.
it's nice. I've been wondering, like, oh, who did that?
Mm-hmm.
And Jamie was really enchanted and probably dancing on our side with
Very cool.
If you, there is really plenty of acting nuggets in Bryan Cranston's talk on the National Theatre, and at one point he was talking about he was basically losing money on this run because he was buying tickets for his friends, and but as he said. And it was verbalized for the first time, and I'm pretty kind of in the same state of mind. He never did that for the money. What he wanted was, because he has a dad who was only focused on success, so he had that as a thing not to do. So he just wanted to make a living as an actor.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
a good way of
And,
looking at it.
Doing something, or what's the phrase again? He'd rather be good and earn a living at something that he that he likes than
Yeah.
than doing something that he doesn't like, but with good money.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
a completely butchered quote, but if you type platform National Theatre Bryan Cranston on network, you'll get plenty of nice stuff.
Cool. Yeah, he
yeah.
seems very eloquent and friendly, and he it's actually really interesting to hear him talk because he's intelligent as well. Obviously, like he understands the parts that he plays, and I think there are I'm sure there are loads of actors who don't.
There we
You
go.
know.
And we're back on Instagram.
He draws on internal stuff. He has like that method E kind of thing, but he has a skill set. He brings past emotions that he needs. The very first pages in this describes how he was. I really thought he was talking about his own daughter in there, but how there is a scene in Breaking Bad. I haven't seen the whole series, so I have no idea where. When there is a girl on the bed, Odid.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he imagined his own daughter there. It's in the very first pages of the book.
Oh God, he kills her in Breaking Bad.
He aids killing her.
He leaves
Well, he
her
doesn't.
to die.
He doesn't save her essentially.
Yeah.
In the original draft of that scene, they kill. He is responsible for her death, but
Yeah.
they scaled it back because they're like, we can't make him that evil too soon.
Yeah, even though he does aid her death.
Oh, of course,
in that
yeah,
way.
yeah.
Like she would be alive if it wasn't for him.
Like he like turns her over so that she can't be she'd choke on it in the scene, as opposed to, I think he like muffles her with a pillow or something.
Oh,
in the
yeah,
sort of
yeah,
draft
okay.
or something like
It's,
that.
Jesse's girlfriend,
Played
yeah,
by-
Kristen Ritter,
Played by the
Jessica Jones.
Yeah, Jessica Jones. Yeah.
Yes, okay. Yeah,
She's
yeah.
in like
Yes.
a lot of things.
And who's that bitch in
Okay.
apartment 13?
So that's tough. Yeah, gosh. But I guess he had to. That's echoey. I guess he had to get the emotion from somewhere. I think as well, like you have to know your own limit as an actor. Like, can you do this? Can you like? think about that one thing that happened to you and draw from that, or are you going to really mess up your own mental health or even physical health by thinking about that again? And if you can, that's awesome. But I'm sure there are so many actors that should steer clear of that, because I mean that's a dark rabbit hole.
I also think there's a thing that so many people want to be actors, but some of them just don't want to do those sort of scenes. Like
I'll do the slog.
Do the slog, or be able to, when they like on paper they don't want to do difficult scenes. For example, the three of us are currently in a play which we'll discuss later on near its production. But I'm doing like a diary about it for my own sake and my own keepsake. And our director has openly talked about there are some people that don't touch certain roles because of content. And that's not even in relation to our play. He talked about the film that you did with him last year. And there's just sometimes actors don't want to. The thing you're bringing up is the fact that in the I Watched Over Your Shoulder, the Bryan Cranston thing he talks about, he just wants to tell interesting stories. And there's some actors that don't do acting for that reason. They do it for other totally different reasons, you know?
Well, it really depends, because as the Emma Freud was saying, like he after Breaking Bad, looking at scripts, it was for a second in a mentality like, well, how can I top that? And I need like something like huge. And then he said, well, then that's a bit unfair for all the stories out there. So he did Godzilla afterwards.
Well, I mean, Aaron Paul did the Need for Speed movie.
Yeah, and also you need a bit of a break. And just because, like, film is so normalized, and it's like, oh yeah, of course you want to be successful and become a celebrity. Like, it's actually a job. It's just a job for most actors. They, and that's why when people ask them on interviews, like, what are you wearing? They're just like, well, what do you mean?
Some clothes.
Because this is their job. Like, this is what they've been doing for years and years and years before all of the success. Like, sometimes there's 10, 20 years of slog and getting no love. And then suddenly, they're like, apparently are like overnight success. And it's like, there's no such thing usually.
Yes.
So,
there's those that you see today, like Samuel L. Jackson, who started to be like massive really late.
I mean, even Bryan Cranston, like, most people are just like, oh yeah, Breaking Bad just happened. Then it's like, yeah, of course there was Malcolm in the middle, but like before that, I'm sure that there was like a lot of work put into.
If you ever want a good quiz answer, if they're asking for what films have Samuel L. Jackson appeared in, like the one nobody gets is Goodfellas. He's in Goodfellas for about 10 minutes, if that. And
like the tiniest part, and is killed off very quickly.
And Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
He's not a major role in Jurassic Park.
No.
He's there, but I wouldn't say people would remember Samuel L. Jackson for Jurassic Park, you know.
So anyway, yes.
Yeah, but Bryan Cranston also did the hemorrhoid cream ads a while back. But they money, at the time. And now is a bit more, it's...
make that choice.
Very, very... he also has... he has the... I think it's like the Cranston... system, chaps Cranston script. I don't remember what it is, but it's a system. It's in the book. How to choose a script, and he says in the talk how he passed on Spotlight because what he didn't see any conflict in Spotlight, so he didn't. And to make it work in anything needs conflict, but as he said, instead of conflict, they had a succession of impediments, which faked it, and it works.
Yeah.
It's a very good movie. We'll talk about it one day.
Yeah.
I still haven't seen it, actually.
It's good.
But we have it somewhere.
Yeah.
It's on Netflix as well, Spotlight.
Yeah, it changes because Victoria is no longer on Netflix, I think.
I know, what a shame.
Yeah.
Cracking film.
Things are taken down.
I want to revisit the review of Victoria because I think we're further along now in what we discuss as well.
I'd like to see it again as well.
Power Rangers was their high in Brian's career.
Yeah.
Rita Repulsa.
I mean, you've got Jurassic World, the giant Samsung ad, and you've got the Krispy Kreme ad known as Saban's Power Rangers.
Have you seen the trailer for Jurassic World 2? Electric
I
Boogaloo.
actually did yesterday. I was like, oh.
The thing is, right, there's an interesting thing in that trailer where it's like they're auctioning the dinosaurs. That's quite interesting, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah.
You know,
I was.
the marketing is all over the place because it looks like the island's exploding. So from the poster, right, I thought, right, they're trying to get dinosaurs off before the island explodes. I mean, okay, that idea's been done before. Well, not done before, but like you've got to do something before a bomb goes off. You know. That's quite interesting, but that seems to be like the first 20 to 40 minutes of the movie.
There's one I haven't watched because I wanted. Well, we didn't. All the experiments like to finally have the live working today. I wanted to try and have that with the solo reaction live. Just to try, because it's in well.
I just don't care.
Oh, I haven't watched it.
Have you not watched it yet?
No, I was sparing, but no, it's too late now. But no, I haven't watched it.
Okay.
Not the new one, no.
I mean, I'm not huge into Star Wars.
Yeah, I'm not either. I'm not either. Yeah.
I don't know. Well, I guess. I mean, we live in a post-Last Jedi world where people are like, "Oh, Star Wars films can be different." I don't know if I like different.
No.
You know.
I don't know. I think there's also a point when a franchise becomes lazy or
becomes well, look at Jurassic Park.
Well, yeah, but that's so very sad. But it's true. Like if you have a franchise for long enough, it just gets lazy and it becomes like a money maker, and they know that all they want are bums on seats, and that's it. And they really don't care about content. They don't care about script. They don't care about quite a lot of things. And I think that a lot of movies make their money back with not that much effort, and so they get away with it.
We're going to discuss a movie very soon called Truth or Dare. That's out right now. It's called Truth or Dare. Sorry, I'll pronounce that better. It's by Blumhouse. Blumhouse is the company that the poster says that brought you Get Out, and I can't remember the other one that they did. But Blumhouse is very much a company that produces movies very cheaply, almost B-movie type content, in indie essentially. So sometimes they'll get massive hits like Get Out, which has the writing and the acting and everything like nailed. But there'll be other films they'll make that are not, that they'll lose money on because they know eventually they'll have a hit like Get Out that makes the money back. You know?
Yeah, and some people their jobs aren't around that, so they don't mind putting in, films that have a great story rather than like make the money back, even though I know that money and funding is important in these things.
So we'll discuss Truth or Dare at some point this year.
Cool.
Probably around the same time we talk about Get Out.
Okay.
Because we're still in progress with the Oscar movies.
Yeah.
Which we can now watch on a very nice television.
Yes. Yes.
Very
of course,
exciting.
you brought the Apple TV back.
Yes.
So
Yes, I brought the Apple TV back, and I have another bit of exclusive news for everyone. As I have kind of the willpower of an amoeba, I didn't want to do this, but I still did because I went to investigate on the internet, and it turns out that there are not that many Xbox exclusives anymore. So tomorrow, the limited edition God of War PS4 is coming in the house.
Yes.
And hidden away in my room right now are Uncharted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You have just become Adam's best friend.
You're gonna love Uncharted. Uncharted's the next thing we're playing all the way through. Like it's so good. If you enjoy Tomb Raider, oh my god.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Sounds great.
I've played a bit. Yeah.
Oh man, I cannot wait. Oh what?
Yeah, before 11 a.m. Was said on the email. I don't know where else.
And apparently God of War 4 is like ultra good as well. Like it's getting rave reviews. It's getting like 10 out of 10s all over the shop.
It's supposed to be different.
And do you know the fact that you're gonna love it because it's apparently the whole game is one continuous shot.
Oh wow!
There's no cuts
Nice.
at all in the game,
That's crazy.
which sounds pretty intense. So.
Yeah, it does.
So that'll be interesting.
Cool.
Bloody hell, Yann.
Yes.
It's not. Please tell me it's not a pro. So we're not. It's just like a. Is it?
No, that's a pro.
It's a pro.
Obviously, it's a pro.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
That's a limited edition that is going out tomorrow, and we'll get it tomorrow. With the design of the
It's like
Leviathan, Kratos axe on the thing.
Bloody hell,
Leviathan.
man! Bloody hell, yeah. Oh my god. Well, that's our rainy day sorted. My god.
Yeah.
Bloody hell. Jesus.
Yeah. Patreon.
The final.
Super exciting.
It's still not talking that much about network, but it's no longer on anyway. So
We'll redo if network comes on the live stream. We'll get an episode about. We'll redo this. This is more just like This is more like a celebration of live streaming and showing off what we've been up to and stuff like that.
I think it can be very hard to talk about theatre as well because it's an experience. It's like a feeling that you get rather than individual things.
It'll be different with the DVDs that people can go and then buy and see themselves. But with something like a show, is very hard to discuss.
Yeah, but maybe we can learn on the job to how to speak about theatre.
That's very true.
I mean, because I don't have those skills yet, but
I mean, I don't have the box set itself here, but the 37 BBC black and white ones are in. Somewhere.
Yeah, they're in the. Yeah, they're out, and also the ones you bought, the RSC ones as well.
Amazing. I think next time me and Adam should buy something.
Yeah, when I've got some when when that Uber money comes in.
Exactly.
I don't need to. Yeah, Jan's bought all the. I was like, right, 4K TV. Oh, Jan's bought one. Right, PS4, Xbox One X. Oh, right, we sorted that.
Yeah.
I don't know what next.
We'll find something.
Yeah, something will come out.
Box sets are always a good thing. Like, just get like a load of like one set of something.
What did I just recently get a hold of? I brought the Alfred Hitchcocks and the Wire with me. I don't have it on Blu-ray. I've only got it on DVD.
Because I never finished The Wire. Don't hate me. But that's apparently like
it's very
sacrilege.
Good. Yeah.
So based out of what we saw on the stage for Network, were you enticed to go see more and the movie?
The movie? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think I was enticed to see the movie, but it definitely awoke more inside me of like, I know why I'm an actor and a creative person. It definitely did that for me.
Yeah.
Yes, you posted some pretty intense stuff like on the Instagram, like message.
Yeah, I'm like, man, this is life-changing theater. It was. It absolutely was. It was theater on a level I've never seen. You know, like we're only exposed to so much, but when you see something of this caliber, you can't help but sit back and go, wow, I'm experiencing a moment right now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and this is what I want to aspire to. I mean, I'm not going to be as delusional to say that I'm going to make it because quite a lot of that stuff is not up to me. But you can always aspire to trying as hard as you can, and that's kind of like if you get to something like, you know, playing in National Theatre, doing something like Network with food work as well. I mean, that's the dream, man. That's because also even if life doesn't stop there, your life is kind of made. Like there must be like so many things that you could then do because you have all these like skills.
But you have to. Bryan Cranston and Shakespeare said it. The readiness is all. When you're so good in your craft that when an opportunity comes, instead of making a fool out of yourself, you'll actually seize it and always have that monologue so you can. If you're given an opportunity, instead of saying, "Well, I have your credit card, I have your business card with you," and so he was talking about how he was lucky, Bryan Cranston, in his talk again. And yeah, it's important to be, even if you're good, but you have to be ready to display that goodness when that lucky break, that lucky thingy comes.
That moment arrives. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
It's
I agree.
in Andy Nyman's Golden Rules for Acting. He has a quote from Walter Matthau, I think. It's like a career is basically based on something like 25 tiny lucky breaks, lucky moments that make like a Lego and that they
When it builds to something.
Yeah,
I agree.
yeah.
I agree.
the readiness is all.
That's a nice note to bring things to some sort of closure.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Before we go, because actually today is the 90th of April. That's my mum's birthday.
Hey.
Yes.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
So I prepared a little video to show you guys the vineyard and what we do and everything.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
I'll let you. I will end the Instagram live because there's nobody on this one anyway. I don't need to save this one. I saved the other one. Shit. I don't need to save that part. I saved the first 50 odd minutes of the first one.
Oh, no, not this.
You work with Peter Finch.
Okay. Okay, so bon anniversaire, Claire. Bon anniversaire. Happy birthday. So this is the harvest 4 years ago. I was in charge of the filming.
Luckily not the grape picking.
That's my brother, who was in the Army of Darkness episode.
Oh yeah, of course.
My sister throwing grapes. Speaks French. That's weird.
So some attitude there.
To the vines.
Gosh, it's so big.
I know.
So the thing is that now she just had 2 gold medals and 1 silver now.
Oh wow.
On the
Oh,
three
nice.
on the 3 current colors. Rosy, white and red. That's my mum counting grapes
Counting
and
grapes.
waiting like
Wow.
She looks super young.
yeah.
Excellent.
I think I have some videos with me in, but not here.
Where's Yann?
We won't see Yann. He's filming.
So we
Kidding.
oh
Oh no, we do. There he is.
oh.
Hey.
The actor.
Okay, so that's bottling now, and we can talk over it because there is really no one speaking anyway.
Oh, wow.
I've always wondered how this is all done.
That's the only external thing that we get.
Ah.
That machine is so crazily expensive that we get an external. It's a
Person to
service,
do it,
outside
yeah.
service.
It looks it, yeah. Wow.
Oh, it sticks the label on. That's cool.
Oh, wow.
Aren't machines really cool?
A bit of this, yes. It's a really nice design as well.
It is. The logo's very.
It's very
nice.
fancy.
Very nice. Oh, it's a dog fighting a cat.
Oh, that's more family stuff now.
Oh, hello.
I haven't shown that. That's for my mum. So you see there's Gélule and Help. That's the place where the. That's me talking. Yeah, that's the place where the wine is actually made. where the tanks and stuff are.
Oh wow.
Mm-mm.
Oh,
Is that
he's
on
so
or off
cute.
site?
That's on. Everything
On
is.
site.
Yeah,
Everything
yeah,
else
yeah,
is
yeah.
on site.
Look at the half face. That's amazing. I've never seen that before.
What?
The half face, the half white, half black dog.
Oh yeah. of
That's
course.
amazing.
Hmm.
Oh, it's so cute.
Just padding along here.
So many places to roam as a dog. Lucky
Yeah.
dogs.
We should plan a road trip.
Yes, please.
We should
I love
absolutely,
that.
yeah.
I love that.
So that's Jean and Jenka.
Oh, these are other dogs.
Yes. Yes.
They're beautiful.
We were brought up with German Shepherds, so we still have 2 and 3 Jack Russells. Lumpia, which is the one shouting that she's not going to take it anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, the warrior princess, but she's not in there.
That's so cute.
I'm gonna have to learn French before I go.
Yes.
Have a little refresher
Mm,
course.
Hey, I need some attention, please. I'm here. I need some attention.
I didn't get up on this table for nothing.
Let's just lick my things.
My feet.
He's talking in French on the other side. Oh, something? What's happening? Oh, that's just something comfy there. Oh, that's quite comfy. Yes. Daddy, come. I found something comfy. Oh, that's quite comfy. Yes. Oh.
Oh, I found.
Is that pillow actually for the dog?
Yes. Ah.
Oh.
C'est un petit arbuste. Viens là.
I'm stuck in the bush. I know this.
Yeah, there's Anouk and me.
Oh. This is my house. Fuck off.
Don't like other dogs.
Oh. Oh, that's so funny. Oh, dear. It's a lovely house, Yann.
It's very nice.
The end.
Oh,
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
that's a lovely video.
If we do the road trip, can we do it one way? Because it's like 20 hours, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I said on the chat. Yes, of course. Yes.
What
yes.
way would we do it?
Especially because I can't drive, so I can't help
I can only help
with
you.
the driving.
I can only help you in Britain.
Oh, yeah.
God help me driving on the other side of the road.
Yeah, same.
So I've got to drive UK. I get the easier deal. I just got to drive from here to the ferry.
Yeah, I'm. Yeah, we'll see. We'll have to see if we still because I can drive for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I started to have a look at the. I don't know what period we want to do that, like summer or whatever.
Yeah, we'd have to sort something out.
Take a trip after our play. Like,
Yeah?
let's just drive to France after our play.
It's just us and David. Hey, let's director.
The
come
5th
with
of
us.
August, we're like, right, we're going to Provence.
The whole cast.
I think we should be good. So happy birthday, Mom. Again.
Happy
Yeah.
birthday.
Is it Claire?
Claire.
Yes, Claire.
Yeah, that's funny because, as you said, she's quite young, and as she had us when she was young, she never wanted to be called Mum. So I called my mother
By her name.
Claire. Yeah.
Claire.
Yeah.
Bon anniversaire, Claire.
Bon anniversaire, Claire. That rhymes.
Things
It
that
does, doesn't it?
inspired by Ben Shapiro, which is kind of a weird dude, but the way he thinks is quite interesting. I would like to do a things I like and things I hate segment now.
Okay.
Things I liked. I talked about it earlier. So it's funny because a few weeks ago, I was planning to go to London, and I was excited by the whole Julius Caesar and everything. And I remembered that on our Instagram lives, there was always this. I've talked about that in the video already, and there's a poem and everything. But I was listening to an Instagram live from 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. of just, it was Brie. From that one time I was abducted by aliens.
Is that the one that sounds like Kim Kardashian?
Yes. I
tease because Yann showed us the video.
Yeah, we heard you say that.
Yeah.
Rather than us just randomly slating you.
Get wrecked.
I love magic, and 20 odd years ago I was really into the spirit world, like the spirit is like a table seance and everything, until I was reading books written by spirits presumably and stuff, and that stopped when I read magic, and now I've been a massive skeptic since then. So as I understand the premise, and I actually said that in my review of their podcast, is about they were abducted by aliens.
Right.
So you'll have a hard time making me believe that, but if it's your thing and it makes you happy, and you're entertaining talking about it, I'm fine, because I watched, though it was just Brie at the time, but for 2 hours, her talking about, she was actually asking for ideas in a upcoming episode on conspiracy theories, I think it was.
Yeah, I mean, kudos. That's 2 hours someone watching that's hard to do. So yeah, you're doing well.
And apparently they both of them with Jamie, they listen to our episodes, and we have some frequent shout outs. They have a at the end of the episodes, because I started to listen after that, they have like a kind of 5-minute segment where they do all their shout outs.
Oh, that's cool.
And yeah, that's quite cool.
That's cool.
Things I hate. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
and,
definitely.
It's really cool.
I also listen to the actual podcast, and it's quite entertaining also. So things I hate. So, okay, in terms of gender bending, I'm entirely fine to have a female Hamlet or whatever gender, because, yeah, I'm fine. Something, however, I actually discovered a few months ago, and I realized that's exactly what they did in the Hiddleston Hamlet, is when they feminized the names.
Yeah.
Horatia. They do in the Andrew Scott, the it's no longer Polonius but Polonia, and Claudius insists like Polonia, like I think it's weird to Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. You'll keep the names because you just you don't know the first names anyway. But I don't know. I will feel weird to be playing an Ophelio.
Yeah. I know. I kind of know what you mean.
Like it's so much. Is it in the sense of it should just be believable for a woman to play somebody called. No, a man to play somebody called Ophelia, let's say, or a woman to play a person called a woman called Hamlet,
or
as opposed to Hamleta or something like that.
Yeah.
Or be consistent. On the digital theater, there is Maxine Peake, Hamlet, and they talk about her when they like the pronouns, like I'll see with him, and then it's weird.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's her and then him. It's a bit confusing. But I really like the actual. Well, that's a bit weird to say, given that there are so many different texts for this play. But the generally accepted one I love, and the changing of the names is a bit annoying to me.
Yeah, I understand that. I think as well, like because the play is so amazing and Shakespeare is incredible, like it's kind of kudos to him that it can be any gender, or even someone who has whatever, like it doesn't even have he or she, like it's another pronoun, like anyone can play it, like so maybe changing it to kind of mold into your own like values and ways that females have to be called a female name, then why?
I mean, in the latest Star Trek, the female protagonist is called Michael. That's okay.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
There are names that go back both ways. Alex, for example. I have a friend, Alex, who's a guy, and I have a friend that's an Alex that is a woman. Names at least should be the most things that could be fluid between the genders. Like a name is just a name.
In theatre as well, and
Exactly,
Shakespeare, because everyone knows Shakespeare. Like, it's kind of okay.
Yeah, of course.
I don't know. But yeah, I that's an interesting point, actually.
I don't think because it's a special first light, we don't need to visit the vault today.
Not
don't need
today.
anything to anyone.
What's the next episode for people that were watching the live?
The next episode after this one
would
will
be I, Tonya, right?
I, Tonya, or what's
or Jumanji. I think those are the two we have.
Wait, that's the two we have in the box. But after Network, it's I, Tonya, and Jumanji. We have to some other we need to record also.
Okay.
But cool. And the next one, I, Tonya. Yeah.
Sweet.
Awesome.
I have been listening to the soundtrack on that on repeat. It's up there with Baby Driver for me now. The soundtrack for that's excellent.
It's a good film, I think.
Yeah, it's an interesting episode.
Yeah.
Tune in next time.
Yes, well, so that's
same podcast channel.
So this video,
same podcast place.
So this video will probably just stay as it was live. As it was, and we'll have another version. I don't know. It feels like it's streamed that time ago. It sounds nice, and have the proper podcast episode inside the podcasting platforms without removing stuff that will not make sense.
Yeah, of course.
Without the sound, and also if that video is not flagged because of all the stuff that went there, it's cool, but it may be so. Sorry, wow.
Yeah.
I think we should wrap before Yann passes out.
Yeah, so shout out to Claire again.
Yeah.
Happy
birthday.
And Jamie will just set a date for a wedding. Yeah, I live.
She better be at our first ever live show. Get her a flight over.
Yes.
Come have a drink.
I can't wait.
Yeah, it's a Bay Area. When I traveled with the Navy for 12 years, there's some places I went. Well, I actually went there before, but you know that those places you visit and you say, "I'll spend some time in my life. I'll spend a few years in that place at some point in my life." I had this twice. Where San Francisco. I had when I turned 20, my parents got me a kind of a tour. Like, so I went from LA to finishing with San Francisco.
Nice.
Yes, with the Grand Canyon and Las Vegas, and so I said, San Francisco is good.
Cool.
And with the Navy afterwards, Chile, Valparaiso.
I've also wanted to go South America.
Also hills, a bit like here, but a bit bigger.
Yeah.
In terms of hills. Anyway, so shout out to my future wife. Also the comment I forgot. Yeah, when I was watching the Brie, I was like, "Oh, she's quite cute. What is she talking about?" And then I got into there. Yeah, but she does sound like Kim Kardashian, but I had never listened to Kim Kardashian before. So
that's actually a very good point. When she said I sound like Kim Kardashian, I just went, I've never heard Kim Kardashian speak.
She's kind of very soft spoken, and it's very American, and she's very cute. Like, she kind of and it's kind of airy and ethereal. But I thought that her voice was a lot stronger. She has a lot of commitment and gusto in her voice. Like, your lungs are a lot stronger than Kim Kardashian's.
Wow.
And of course, all the things you say are a lot more intelligent. Sorry, Kim Kardashian, if you're listening.
Oh, yeah, I doubt it. Could you imagine that? That would be bizarre, wouldn't it? It's like next day on Twitter, we're just like the most hated podcast. Right. Oh my God, there's a podcast that's shitted on the Kardashians, and then we get like a load of listeners. We're like, oh great.
Never
It's
seen
the,
again.
it's the was it? Have you seen Private Parts? Yeah, with the Howard Stern kind of bio.
Oh yeah.
It's like people we don't understand because we have to keep it on air, just like actually network. We have to keep it on air because people are listening to him. The people who like him, but people who hate him also are listening to him to know what he's going to say next.
Yeah,
of course.
So yeah.
That's just the way.
So I think. Should we venture into a rating? I don't think.
I think
we pretty much know.
Yeah, I don't think
We know.
We
We
know.
know. I think we know.
Yeah.
we'll figure this format out for the theater series of podcasts.
Yeah. I have
Oh,
to think.
towards the end, now we have a second person watching live.
Hey.
We're about to end.
Oh,
now,
what a shame.
After an hour and 45 minutes.
Oh, well done.
Oh, that's a long episode.
That is long.
Yes.
Okay, and plus 45 when we were beginning because we couldn't get the thing sorted.
That's right. Yeah.
2.5.
But for some reason, now that I'm about to say that, it will crash. But the master one, when I started the live like 6 hours ago, not recording or having it streaming, but just to make sure it was stable and everything.
Yeah.
And 20 minutes before we started, like the main one was just crashing. But yeah, now it sounds great. That's
Luckily,
great.
we've held out. And this was fun. We should definitely do these again sometime.
Yeah,
Do
and
like a live
try
one.
to, because now with the setting, we should be able to get people on Skype and talk to them.
Yeah.
That's everything. Yeah.
Awesome.
Interesting.
That's cool because, yeah, we have lots of friends around the world. Yeah. Cool.
All right then.
So this was the network episode, venturing into stage world again.
Yes.
So
Very
you
cool.
can again follow us we are on Twitter. Well, we're not that active on Twitter, but we're on Instagram, Facebook, all the podcasting platforms. We're hosted by Podbean. We're hosted by Podbean, but we're also on SoundCloud, and all those platforms. We're getting really, really near.
The 5K mark.
Yeah. We must have passed it like just now, but yeah.
We're nearly there. I think we're at about 480.
Excellent. Cool.
My mother has just texted me saying, "Stop yawning." So she's clearly watching the feed. She's like, "Adam, stop yawning." I'm just leaving. We're just ending, Mum. Where you been? There's been some great revelations on this podcast. I don't know what you've been up to.
Yeah, we probably didn't share enough anyway, but it will still be. They will see all the rumbling and all the tests and all that.
Yeah.
What fun.
Yes. Just I know my mum will watch the whole thing because she loves me.
Oh, I know she keeps liking things, and I'm like, how sweet is this?
So there you go, Mum. You've been raised on other parental love. Can you match that,
I
Mum?
know.
Can you? Huh?
Yes.
To be fair, my mum's internet at Dunfermline is not great.